I have been to the mall and I found myself at the Chanel counter and I had zero intention purchasing anything. Actually, a lip liner. That's all I wanted to purchase. And I walked out of there with the Winter Le Beige collection. Not all of it, just a couple of things and just a few other products that I was kind of eyeing or have been wanting to try. I had zero intention purchasing pretty much anything, but the sales associate did her job well. And, you know, I walked with a beautiful box. Like, I mean, look at this box. It's like really nice. I'm actually gonna keep this, yeah, and put my scarves in or something. So I didn't just buy some Chanel, I also bought some Dior products. I think I'm gonna leave this for a different video. They're the single Dior shadows, and then this intense highlighter powder. This is in the shade 5. I'm going to leave that for another time, but I was so excited about that. However, we have here the Chanel Le Beige eyeshadow palette in Cool. We have one of the blushes. I actually bought the BAUME Essential Multitask in the shade Transparent. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I'm half regretting purchasing that already, but I'll let you know. And then some lip liners, some lip glosses, and I thought, why not try all of this with you? I have really been into Chanel this year. I've discovered a lot more products from them, and I'm slowly kind of testing out a lot of their more popular products like the Balm thing or their lip glosses or things like that. So I'm excited about this video. I also have everything Chanel on. I have Chanel No. 1 foundation. I have the bronzer from Chanel. I have the Chanel Sublimage concealer. I think that's it. I have nothing else on it. Brows, but that's not Chanel. Let's start playing with these. I don't even know what I pulled out. Okay, this is the eyeshadow palette. First of all, the compact. This is absolutely stunning. I don't think I have a compact like this. I don't own a ton of Chanel. I'm slowly building my Chanel collection, but it's not like I have a ton of them. And I've never tried the Quint from Chanel. So I'm curious about this. This is new release. It's the color Cool. Healthy Glow Natural Eyeshadow Palette in Cool. And then we have one of the blushes here in Rose. Now, this one, I did see a review or a swatch maybe where this looked very, very light because I got the lightest one in the color Rose. This has a snowflake on it. That's actually quite cute. But I don't think it's just going to disappear because it's quite hardly pressed. Again, the outside packaging is the same. Let's start with the blush. I'm just so curious how this will look on my skin. I am at my fairest right now. Like, I can't get fairer than this. And so I think hopefully this is gonna work. There was a peachy shade or a corally, and then a deeper, more almost mauve shade. I was interested in that one as well, but I don't know. I wanted a soft pink blush. So let's kind of swatch this. Okay, I love that color. It's like a warmer pink. It's not cool tone. That is the swatch right there. It has the slightest shift. Like, it's not a complete matte. However, it doesn't have any shimmer in it. Not that I can tell in these lights. You know what? This new brush that they put in here is actually nice and dense, and it's probably usable. Maybe I should try this one. Usually they're very flimsy and thin, but this actually feels like a good quality. Okay, so it picks up a bit. Let's try to put this on. Oops, I don't even know how to hold this. Okay, it's definitely soft. I don't like applying with this, but it's doable. I just don't like the handle, the way I have to hold it, that's all. It definitely do you guys see that shift? That's why I picked this one. I'm gonna swap with my BK Beauty A507. I'm going to try to build up this shade. I actually really like this one. I've had so many bright blushes lately that I just want something soft and pretty, you know? And this has an almost iridescent like shift to it. It's very, very pretty. Now, I know in this collection, they did come out with these like illuminating bays. I swatched them in store, but I decided not to pick them up. To me, all these products, like illuminating bases, like they felt nice and moisturizing, they all kind of do the same thing for me. I already have some other Chanel ones, so I decided to skip on them because I just have too many open ones. But those looked nice as well. They had some lip products like lip balms, but I swatched them and they all looked clear almost. And I was like, no, I'll just get some glosses. I have to say, this is so pretty. It's definitely soft, okay? So you have to have like a light skin tone to be able to pull this off. And I really like that shift. I really like that shift. Okay, I'm glad because I was really scared after I saw that little review that said it was just too light. And I'm going to try to build it up even more. You can definitely build this up. I don't know how much this was. I know the eyeshadow palette is $70. I don't know the blush. I didn't want to know. I was like, just put it in there. I actually really like this. Is it worth, I don't know, I assume it's around $60. Absolutely not. However, that shift is really pretty. It's almost like I wouldn't call this necessarily a highlighter, but it does have that luminosity where you don't need a highlighter on top. Also here, if my makeup looks off, it's because I have a big old scratch right there. So disregard that. Okay, I'm loving this. All good things so far. It's very like faint when you first apply it, but then once you build it up, you can really see the color. Okay, so I think the negative obviously is that the color is kind of faint and you have to build up the color quite a bit so you can see it. That is not a negative for me. I love building up the blush rather than it being too intense in first application. So that's actually a positive for me, but I can see how this could be a negative for people that just are on the go or just want a really quick, more intense blush. Put a little bit on my nose. I love the color. Absolutely love the color. It's so pretty. Pretty and feminine. Okay, and this like big old spot here. I even put a little bit of green corrector to try to cancel that, and it did a little bit. It's pretty bad underneath without it, so it masked enough where I'm like, I don't want to pull my heavy duty makeup right now to completely cover it up. Okay, that's the blush. I love the finish. Absolutely love the finish. This makes me want to go try the deeper color or the coral shade. Oh, that would be really beautiful for more summertime. Now the next product is their balm. I know these are very popular. I've never tried them. And I was between the shade Sculpted, which is a lighter, has some sparkles in it, but they're very soft, and then the color Transparent. I decided to go with the color Transparent just because it's, I guess, basic. And if I really enjoy this formula, I can kind of build on this one. However, I have a feeling that this is going to pick up my foundation or the blush. So I'm kind of scared. Let's swatch it right here. I want you guys to see the finish. So I'm going to do a nice little swatch right there. Can you see anything? Let me do a heavier swatch right there. So it does have this beautiful glossy look to it, which is what attracted me in the first place. The shade Sculpted was kind of the same, just a little bit more sparkles in it. Looked really pretty, to be honest. I don't know if I should have gotten that one or this one, but I'm gonna put a little bit on my lips because you're supposed to be able to use this on your lips, on your eyes, on your cheeks, which I'm gonna do right now, but I'm scared. I'm gonna take this KJH brush. She has this with her set, and I'm like, what a more perfect brush than one that's made, ooh, that's made for a balmy highlighter. Okay, that's actually really pretty. Okay, it did not lift or move my foundation so far. Okay. I bet if I swiped it, it absolutely would pick it up. I have no doubt about that because the formula is like a balm, and after testing it out in store, it never set down. So I don't think this is a product that will end up setting down and, you know, you'll be able to wear your hair down and flowy. I kind of feel like maybe it would get caught a little bit. Let's see. Let's test this out. Well, not really. It's not getting caught. Let's do this tiny one right here. Kind of does. If I place it there. Ooh, but the finish. Okay, this is why this product is so popular. Just because of this beautiful glass-like finish. I'm glad I got that transparent. The other one was really beautiful, but it definitely had a little bit of soft sparkles, and I think this is a good introduction in the formula. Okay, I'm actually really happy that it didn't pick up and like disturbed my foundation and blush. I actually think it's giving it such a beautiful glow right here. And on the lips, it looks really good. I do have a little bit of bronzer around my lips, so if it looks kind of weird, it kind of does a little bit, and orangey. It's because of that. I did it out of habit, and usually I don't do it if it's a warmer bronzer. Oh well. Let's move on to the eyeshadow. I don't even know why I purchased this. Truly, I probably should have skipped this. It was more for kind of a review. I thought maybe people would want to see this palette in action. It does look pretty. I've never tried the Beige formula, so I was a little bit curious about it. The colors seem nice, kind of rosy, some more mauve-y tones in here. Let me swatch this. So let's start with this one. Okay, my finger barely fits in there to swatch. This one right here seems to be a beautiful kind of duochrome shade. Yeah, it has some blue shift in it. Okay, they all seem very smooth. What I don't like about this packaging is that, again, my finger barely fits in there. Okay, so these are the shades. Ooh, you know what? This reminds me a little bit of the Tom Ford Honeymoon quad, which is one of my favorite Tom Ford quads. Okay, maybe I'm eating my words right now. Wow. Wow. Chanel, I was not expecting that. These are very pigmented and intense. Okay. So these look really beautiful, actually. Let's do a close-up. These two shades are very pigmented. I mean, very and super smooth. This deeper one also has like a shift in it a little bit. A pretty kind of pinkish, slightly peachy. Yeah, it has maybe a little bit of that peach. And then this duochrome or iridescent shift to it. Very pretty. And then just kind of like a more setting, softer, nude pink. Starting off, I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just taking this top shade and setting the eye. I kind of feel like this shade is more for setting the eye or blending out the crease a little bit. It has some pigment, very little. Now with Chanel, I always expect more toned down look, a more elegant, softer, and then the formula is where I expect a lot. I expect it to be extremely smooth, blendable, something that looks like silk on your eyes. I'm trying to decide what I want to do because I kind of feel like you don't need to use all of these colors because both the bottom ones are quite statement colors, intense. This iridescent one looks absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna start with this pink one here. Maybe build the crease with this color. A little bit here. I actually really like Chanel quads. There's this softness about them, and because they're quads, I reach for them a lot more than a bigger palette. I'm such a small, like either one and done eyeshadow or something like this that I don't need a lot of options. I am taking a BK Beauty 203, and let's take this color right here and build this up here in this outer corner. This is a very pigmented shade. That's actually quite surprising for Chanel. I'm just fluffing this out. I try not to look at reviews in general, but because I wasn't planning to purchase this, I did see a couple people just using them. It seems like people like it. Ooh, there's a little bit of fallout there, or I probably touched it. So I'm just kind of placing the color haphazardly, and then I blend it out and go back and forth, building a little bit more. I think this would be a beautiful liner shade as well. Like I see it next to my lash line, and I think it looks really pretty. That is a lot of color for Chanel and very easy to blend out. I had no issues. Is this the normal Le Beige formula? Again, I've never tried, or I don't think I've ever tried their eyeshadow formula from this line. I usually get the quads from Chanel, but I kind of like this even more. I'm taking the deepest one and going around my lash line. Also under here. Oh yeah. I've been really into mauvey tones on my eyes, some purples. I think it just looks so good with darker eyes or brown eyes. There is some fallout right here, and I'm very curious how that will work with the balm. This is a clean brush. It's not the one I've used for the balm. Yeah, it's kind of getting caught in the balm a little bit. Maybe I should have put the balm at the end. That probably wasn't very smart of me, but oh well. I'm gonna build up this color even more because I really like it. I actually think the deepest color all over the lid would be so beautiful, like a smoky look. Or you could use this one all over the lid and do the little topper almost shade. Let's just swatch it. So that's the shade by itself, and then if you add a little bit of this on top, yes. Ooh. That would be a beautiful kind of smoky look, and just add this lighter toppery iridescent shade in the middle. I think that would be very special. So the balm is not sticky on my lips at all. It actually feels very nice and moisturizing. It reminds me a little bit of my Tom Ford oil, kind of. I'm really into this oil right now. It doesn't do anything special, just feels nice and moisturizing, and it's really nice. I like it, but it doesn't specifically do anything crazy. Well, this kind of reminds me of that. The way it looks on the lips, the way it feels. Okay, so I feel like I have some fallout from that deeper shade. Nothing crazy, but I'll have to clean up kind of around here. And also it doesn't help that I have that scar there, or, you know, scratch. Now let's take this shade. Again, I don't know if I have a fat finger. I probably do. I have big hands, and it's hard to get my finger in there. Ooh. But, ooh, that's so pretty. I like that it definitely has a shift. It's not too much. It's not in your face, but it's very elegant, with it being a little bit more playful than like kind of the basic Chanel quads. That is beautiful. I feel like that shade kind of makes this palette be worth it. Is this limited edition, or is this just part of their line now? I have no idea. So this does have sparkle in it, but the sparkles are so soft and refined. Even if you have texture in your eyes, or more mature skin around your eyes, I think you could wear this absolutely, because it's so soft. It reminds me a little bit of the winter quad that I reviewed. Let me find it. I'm getting a small collection here of their quads. Okay, this one. It reminds me a little bit of the effect that this shade right here had, because it still has that shift in it. This is a little bit more icy, and it does have glitter in it, but very refined. I feel like this one, the glitter is a little bit more pronounced, because the shift is like purpley blue. And so you see that a little bit more, rather than here where it's kind of all white / bluish. Am I making sense? Super pretty. Oh, I like it. I'm getting excited now. Okay, I'm gonna go clean up just a little bit my concealer, put mascara, and show you the finished look. So I finished the mascara. I did end up putting this liner from, that's not it, this one from Victoria Beckham in the color Fig. I just put that on my waterline. I think this color is so beautiful. Again, if you have brown eyes, this shade, it's such a beautiful color. I've been really into eyeliners, mostly the Victoria Beckham ones, just colorful eyeliners, but make them elegant, a little bit of pop of color. I just think it's fun, and I still kind of can wear my day-to-day makeup. Anyway, I digress. Okay, the eyes. I really, really, really love this eye look. I think it's kind of interesting and different from Chanel, at least from the Chanel products that I have, and not necessarily the colors, but the way they apply. Definitely that little kind of duochromy, what do I call it, this iridescent, almost sparkly goodness. I think it's very elegant, yet it has a statement, but yet still soft. You can build up these colors so much. I was very careful with this shade right here, and I feel like it still had a lot of color. So this is a very nice surprise. Probably the formula more than the colors. The colors are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The one thing about the colors is that, yes, it's kind of, more mauve-y. There's some burgundy, more cooler tone. I don't find this too cool tone, by the way. But this color right here, it looks very mauve-y. But once you blend this into the skin, can you see that it gives some warmth to it, almost like a little bit of red in there, which I find that very interesting paired with this shade right here. I really, really like that combo. I think that's fun and a little bit different. So I really like the color story a lot. I think it works really well with my eyes, more browner eyes. I have a hair here. It's been tickling me since we started. Let me fix this. Gosh, my skin is peeling. It's so bad all in this area. So please disregard my skin. It's not the products. It's literally my skin is peeling off. I also really like the deepest shade. I think it has quite a lot of impact, a lot of depth, and it has some like playfulness in it. It's not this matte shade. And then, this one's quite basic. I think it's good to have here because you're going to put it under all the other ones and over to kind of, for example, if I want to clean out my edges, I'm going to take a little bit of this and just clean all of this out. So I think it really helps blend this out, or if the color's a little bit too strong, you can kind of calm it down with that shade. So I think it's a very practical, nothing revolutionary. And again, this pink one is a nice shade, but I think these three are the ones that impress me the most. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. For 5 shades at $70, you can find dupes, okay? So just because I say I like something, that doesn't mean you have to go get it. But if you're into Chanel and collecting them, or, you're interested in a good eyeshadow palette that has this color scheme, this is a good one, okay? So the quality's there, but the price is obviously hyped up just because it's Chanel. Okay, we have lips next, but I wanted to touch up my blush. Did it fade a little bit, or is it just me? Maybe it faded a little bit. I'm taking this brush, Biki Beauty N15. I wouldn't say this is the best brush to pick this up because it's so hardly pressed. This is a little soft. I think the other brush would have been better, but I don't know where it is. I lose everything. Okay, yeah. Did it fade? I don't know. If this fades that quickly, I'm not here for it because it's so expensive. I love the way it looks on the cheeks. Maybe it was because I put that balm over it. I don't know. I will keep you guys updated on the blush. Okay, let's move on to the lip category. These are not new releases. So I just tested out the Chanel lip liners, and I had an issue with my first one. I felt like it was kind of dragging and a little bit of dryness, and it would go on okay, but when I try to blend it in, it was just stuck there. So I was not excited about that. But then I went and swapped that because I know a lot of people love these lip liners, and I think they're better. So I have 2 shades right here. I have the Rose Naturel, it's 158, and the 162 with it, which is nude brune. I love the colors, and you'll see that they're very, like, they slide nice. This one was the 158, and then 150, no, not 150, 162. So these are the 2 shades, 162 and then 158. I mean, I'm leaning towards the more brown one and deeper one because I like to have some nice definition to the lips. I think I said I swapped it. I didn't swap it. I just bought another color just to compare and see if the one I had was wrong or like there's an issue with that one. And so I feel like, I don't know. Let's try the 158 because this is the newer one that I haven't been playing with. That color is so pretty. It's a great color. Okay, so that is a very, very smooth. I love that. I'm gonna try the other one. This is the 162 that I've been having issues with. And I wanna see if it works better. So I put it in and then I try to blend it in. I don't know. I feel like it either over blends, and then if it dries down or if I try to go over it, it's too dry and it won't blend in. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but right here, it's almost catching, almost like some of the product is left there. So if I try to go fix it, It's just dry and patchy. Yeah, I think that this is defected. Is that what you say? Yeah. I'm going to try to swap this because it's just, it's pretty bad. It's frustrating, you know, but the bottom one, the other shade, was perfectly fine. I had no issues. So that tells me that it's the actual, maybe the liner is old or it's been in there for a while in their inventory. I don't know. But look how wonky the lip. No, I'm going to go back to the 158 and try to fix this. Yeah, this is so much smoother. This is such a beautiful shade. I've heard a lot of people talk about the 162, but this 158 is really, really pretty. I like it. Let's try the glosses. I bought 2 glosses right here. I have the color Caramel, right? Yes, Caramel. And then the other shade is 804 Rose Naif. These 2. I'm going to try the Caramel first. Now, this one I've tried the other day, and it was so pretty. I wore it throughout the day. And it's not as intimidating as it looks. That is the color Caramel. And one thing that I've noticed about this formula, it's thicker. It's not super thin like an oil. It's a gloss, but it's not sticky at all. And this lasted so well. I just put it on to test out at home, and then I went to some friend's house, and when I got back home, we ate there. I still had some of this on, and I was just kind of shocked. Again, the formula is a little bit thicker than, you know, the kind of new and improved super thin formulas. They're more like oils. This is a true gloss, but it's not sticky at all, and it lasts so well. And that's like such a perfect everyday color. Now, I do want to try out the other shade, so I'm going to wipe this off. Let's try this color right here. I'm really into soft pinks lately. And this I tried in store just by itself with no lip liner, and it looked so good. It made my lips look plump, juicy, and kind of minimal just because it didn't have a lip liner. It looked so good. So I don't think you need a lip liner with this. It was just very juicy. And this is the shade 804. It's so pretty. They were all sold out of almost everything. They had only 4 colors in stock, but these were honestly the 2 that I was most interested in. There was another pink that had some sparkles in it. I thought that was really pretty, but these are the 2 glosses that I picked up, and I think they're so pretty. Definitely the liner is a little bit too much right now. Maybe we can blend it in. And here is the final look. What do you guys think? Okay, let me tell you my thoughts real quick. Eyeshadow is probably the one thing that I'm most impressed with. I was not expecting to like this as much as I do. I like the formula. I think it's much more pigmented, very creamy, blendable, and with a pop of color. So I'm really impressed with this. The blush is the one that I really like, but I'm questioning it because it seemed like it faded. It took quite a bit to build up, which does not bother me. I actually love the color. I love the softness of it. And with something like this on the eyes and a glossy lip, I don't want too much on my cheeks, you know? So I think this is like perfect. It goes great with the eyes. I just felt like it faded a little bit quickly, and it's a little bit more finicky because you have to build it up. There's other colors that were very intense, like the deeper one, the mauve one. That looked very intense and I skipped it, but probably I should have picked that one up. I do like the shift that this has. I think it's really pretty. So overall, I'm not mad about this. I just think that I can see some people maybe being disappointed that the product is so fair at such a high price tag. The balm, you know, I like it. You know, it's not a product that most people are gonna like, or not most people, but if you like products to set down, this is not for you. This still kind of feels a little bit wet. It's not tacky or sticky, but it's like that balmy consistency. For me, this is definitely a hit. I even tried to put it a little bit under my eyes and put concealer over it just when I was cleaning up the eyeshadow, and that worked really well too. So I feel like I'm gonna find a lot of uses for this product. They have different colors as well, but this one, I think it's great to start, and I just love the effect that it gives. I talked about the blush, the lip liner. Again, the good one was great. The other one was just dry and kind of like hard to blend. So I'm gonna go in and swap this because I do want this color. I think it's beautiful and the formula is nice. So I do want that shade. And then the glosses is a huge surprise for me. I've heard a lot of people tell me to try their glosses, and I think I've tried them in store, but I don't think I've ever owned their glosses. But this makes me, you know, completely change my perspective on the glosses and if they're worth it. I think even though they're thicker, they're just so long lasting that it's gonna make me want to reach for glosses more. Not sticky at all. I think that was everything, right? I would love to hear your thoughts down below, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, that you get to spend it with your loved ones, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.